Hello and welcome to Wingin It, and welcome back to another Wingspan tournament gameplay video here. This one is another slightly older game I played a few months ago now, so this is before the Asia expansion came out. This will be just base game, European and Oceania expansions. We're going to be going second in this one, and as I say, this is a slightly older game, so I'll be doing some post commentary to hopefully give a little bit of insight as to what I was thinking as the game played out. But yeah, let's jump in and see what we've got to work with in our starting hand in this game. And you'll see we've got some pretty interesting options that I'm going to immediately jump all over. Of course, being the barn swallow and the purple martin. So yeah, two very, very nice early game birds with those tuck and draw powers. So we're going to be scoring points. We're going to be cycling cards and seeing some good stuff, because that's always good. You know, you want to be scoring points. You want to be getting a bit of an engine going. And yeah, I'm thinking probably going to be going with those in the wetlands. We are, of course, on the Oceania board, so grass is not quite as strong. If this was base boards, I'd probably be looking at going in the grasslands here and setting up a very quick 5-point engine. But yeah, not really too much thinking to do there. We did have the forest brown power in the starting hand, but I think with this kind of start with the swallow, with the martin, as I say, putting those in the wetlands, we should be good for food. And what is also going to help for a little bit of food, I may have seen their opponent played black-tinted hummingbird in the wetlands. So yeah, we're going to be potentially getting some free berries along the way. Obviously not the most useful food, but when you've not got a forest brown power or any sort of forest bird, you know, food is food, you take it. So we'll see if we're going to get a little bit of food, but first of all, not going to be the case. So it's being skipped, maybe a little bit of mind games going on, but yeah, we're going to sacrifice a little bit of food here just to get another egg down on this martin, and yeah, get the barn swallow in the game. So early game nectar coming in handy here. Obviously the martin and the swallow with the same food cost, but not a problem for us here. So straight, easy first few turns, get those two birds in, and yeah, we're just going to be seeing a bunch of cards here. And as I say, we're just going to dig and, you know, hopefully maybe find something to go alongside it in this wetlands. You know, I'm really hoping for, you know, something that's going to get me some eggs. That's kind of always key. So some kind of tuck and lay bird would be very, very welcome. Alternatively, we can find ourselves Pelleted Woodpecker off the top of the deck. So that's a very, very nice one here. Just having a little look at my opponent's board, no cavity nests down for them. And we've obviously got plenty in the wetlands already. So yeah, I could very, very easily see myself getting that woodpecker in the game. But I'm not in any great rush. I can keep digging. You know, I don't necessarily need to go get that kind of forest bird down. Yeah, not straight away at least. Because who knows, we might get that little bit of free food, as I say, that could help us get the Pelleted Woodpecker in the game. And actually, the birds that we're drawing are pretty good ones. I don't really want to, you know, go and discard these in the forest. So golden eagle, nice big points. Drew the spoonbill as well, which, yeah, could be tempting for a bonus card. And even the sparrowhawk, you know, I think that's potentially a good one as well. And we're actually going to play this straight away here. So sacrifice the spoonbill. I could definitely have drawn again there just to be able to keep that. But to be honest, in these kind of games where I'm going wetlands engine, I think those wetland bonus card birds slightly less valuable. I'd much rather have, yeah, something with a brown power, like I say. For example, this golden eagle. But just by playing that sparrowhawk, it's meant we can go and take food here. And yeah, get this blue woodpecker in the game. And it's just about getting this wetlands going. So I think once that's down, we could certainly be taking some food, getting this golden eagle down as well, and just building out this wetlands a little bit more. So yeah, we do lose the end of round goal. We come into the next round, and there we go. That's the kind of bird I'm looking for in the tray. Red-winged blackbird. So yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and grab that. I mean, obviously do some tucking and some drawing along the way. But yeah, I think that's a bit of a no-brainer. We'll be looking at getting that down. Now, unfortunately, that did reveal Comet Raven, so not the kind of bird you want to flip up. I think especially in a situation like this where my opponent's not really got much going on in terms of food generation. So yeah, no surprises to see that grabbed. But yeah, I mean, still no cavity nesting birds, so this is a good time for me to go and take some food. And yeah, we're going to get the 2 eggs off the woodpecker. There's no way for my opponent to respond to that. And as far as I'm concerned, we can just go and do that again and get more eggs. Obviously, it's points, but it's obviously going to help with a little bit of tempo. Just for getting these birds out, getting the golden eagle out especially. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. And lots of nectar coming through as well. So, this could come into play later. I mean, obviously, up against a raven who's going to be getting as much nectar as they want. That's, yeah, not really something you can challenge too hard on. But I think if we can just dump all of our nectar in this wetlands, I say with the eagle and the blackbird, that's certainly going to be an aim of mine. So opponent finally played a cavity nest in the nuthatch, but I say I'm pretty much done taking food for now, at least. You know, I don't need more food for the birds I've got, and I don't necessarily need more eggs because this blackbird is going to do the job for me. And yeah, we're getting our wetlands set up at a really good time. You know, round 2, I think, is, if you're going for an engine sort of game, which it feels like we are here, round 2 is when you should really be trying to put in the final touches to your engine. And we're doing that here. We're getting, you know, strong brown powers in the game. And we're going to be scoring points with those. So yeah, golden eagle going in as well. Nice big point bird, nice strong brown power. And helps falcon a bonus card as well for a couple more points. So don't mind that at all. And yeah, wetlands is looking good. And definitely, you know, if I'm comparing my board to my opponents, obviously I know this raven is going to come in, but I think we're looking really, really good just with a much, much quicker start here. So we're just going to go and dig. And yeah, we're kind of looking for, you know, maybe one final bird, maybe like a mute swan or a main duck or something like that could come up. We do get white stork instead, which is not really what I had in mind, but at the very least, reassuring to know that my opponent doesn't have that bird in hand. So yeah, we may look at playing that later, just of course for big points. But yeah, as I say, maybe that last wetland bird, I'm still looking for hopefully something that's going to get me some tucks, something that's going to get me some points, and then we can really shift into, you know, playing the big point birds as the game gets into the later stages. So yeah, we're going to keep on digging and get another interesting options there. Alduin's Girl comes up, so that may well be something we could look at playing. But I'm not necessarily sure that the extra cards are needed, so I do actually ditch that pretty quickly. So yeah, maybe in hindsight could have kept hold on to that for a little bit longer. But as we are sort of coming into the late round 2, early round 3, you know, playing a 1-point bird becomes more and more challenging. I'm going to be more looking for yeah, big point birds that are just going to score a load of points when I can play them instead. So yeah, opponent's looking a bit better now. Common Starling going in, so that's going to be helpful with maybe some extra food, as is a bird like the Kia. So that's yeah, nice trade coming up here. Maybe we'll be seeing that picked up, and yeah, seeing some bonus cards later. So very, very nice indeed. We're still getting a little bit of free food, which I don't mind at all. I would definitely take that. And I'm also going to be very, very tempted to take this common cuckoo. So pink power is always good, always nice. You know, when you know your opponent's going grass, since with the raven, building something strong there, that's definitely going to be, yeah, one I'm going to jump on pretty quickly. And we do get some other nice options. So Woodstalk's coming up. Even this Hermit Thrush, you know, with all these free berries coming through, that could be a nice big point play. Franklin's Girl also showed up, probably a bit late to be, yeah, going with you. But as I say, we're getting some decent options. Maybe not that sort of final engine piece that I would be hoping for, but certainly, yeah, we're getting the big point birds. We're getting stuff that is going to be good for us. And do have to maybe allocate a little bit of time, a little bit of energy towards this end of round goal, because yeah, we don't really have anything going for that. Nothing in the grasslands as of yet. So yeah, may need to work out how exactly we're going to approach that. So we go for food. I was hoping for some nectar. Yeah, definitely a shame that that didn't quite work out, but just sort of trying to plan a little bit and trying to work out and think, okay, which of these birds am I going to play? You know, certainly the white stork and the wood stork, both going to be tempting ones. So maybe try and grab some fish and some rats. I think the cuckoo is maybe borderline. It's sort of getting to that stage of the game where it's kind of now or never, you know, with a pink power. And you've got to kind of try and work out and calculate, okay, how many eggs am I going to get off that? Is that going to deliver enough value? Is it going to help, you know, maybe for the end of round goal as well? Or is there something else I could play? Those are the sorts of things I'm going to be trying to think about here. And yeah, with every passing turn that my opponent's laying eggs, it's one fewer time that they're going to lay eggs and trigger, yeah, a pink power like that. So I say, got a little bit of thing to do here. You know, what do we play? Where do we play it? Do we still go with this pink power? You know, I'm already looking. My opponent's got a lot of food there. So maybe not going to use the Raven too much more, but yeah, definitely considering this cuckoo. Definitely, you know, thinking about playing that and the white stalk and then potentially laying eggs. And obviously we can, you know, maybe throw a card for another egg there. So a little bit more value just by having another bird in there. So we do go with the cuckoo. Obviously the barn swallow, yeah, with that star nest, that's going to be the real key here for us in collecting those eggs. And maybe if we do go with the hermit thrush as well, that could be another option. But yeah, we're going to do a little bit of overpaying here, it looks like, on this white stalk. So I said, really wanted a bit of nectar on the previous turn. Didn't quite work out, unfortunately. So yeah, we are going to get the white stalk down. And it's just important to be clearing out the blackbird egg spaces as well. So yeah, we are probably going to draw cards. I want to say at least a couple more times in this game. You never really know. But, you know, it's a good engine. It's a good wetlands. I want to be making sure I'm maximizing the point scoring that I'm doing when I'm drawing there. And part of that is going to be, yeah, just managing that egg space on the blackbird. So white stalk's gone down. And yeah, we're going to be able to at least qualify things in our own goal. I don't know if we're going to win it or not. It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, my opponent not generating loads of eggs, but they did just play that black-red start. So yeah, that will get at least a few more eggs in this end of round phase. So yeah, we'll kind of just have to play that bit. But all we can do is just qualify and get 2 sets in each habitat. So I think that's what we're going to do. Just make sure we're, yeah, at least hitting and scoring points here. And who knows, with this white stalk, maybe that will get me something good. But key is going down a little bit early, but maybe just, yeah, trying to push out that grasslands another slot and just get another egg in here. So I'm just sort of checking and counting and seeing, you know, how many eggs can my opponent get to. And I think they can certainly get to 2 sets in each habitat. But I don't think they can do any more than that. So we know we are going to tie. And we actually ditched the hermit thrush here, so that is a little bit of a surprise. I'm not really sure why I'm still keeping hold of this cormorant. It feels like one that's not really going to go down, especially if we know Woodstock is going in that final slot. But a good find here on the white stalk, greater roadrunner. So hits Falconer, you know, nice, decently big point bird in its own right. So yeah, that's certainly one that I can look at playing in that final round. But you know, food could be the limiting factor here, could be quite tricky. You know, we've only got 2 in our supply and we can only get 3 when going and taking food. So we're going to have to think quite carefully about what we prioritize, what we go for as we go into the final round. But Cuckoo's coming through. We're getting a free egg, which is definitely nice. And yeah, as I say, just checking on the end of round cross situation. My opponent's not looking like this grow, but I say the black red star will come through. So I'm sort of thinking if maybe this is the time to take food. You know, we have got the fish there. We can maybe get some worms on a reroll, but I kind of want nectar, and I'm going to need to spend nectar as well in the grasslands, obviously having not qualified there yet. So we do go and draw cards. We do get some more nice predator power options. So yeah, Eleanor's Falcon, you know, maybe that is a nice backup if we can't afford the Woodstock. But even the hawk as well. I mean, we've got the rat for that, so could be an option. And blue-winged warbler again, you know, if we're maybe looking at that last end of round goal, white and no power birds, you know, it's a big 0.1. So that could certainly give us an option to consider. So yeah, I think options is really the name of the game at this point. I mean, we have got quite a few. We're going to have some considerations to make. And a bird like Abbott's Booby coming up is not very helpful at this time. Because we are, I say, full on this red-winged blackbird. So I don't really want to draw cards here. But it can be a really powerful one to go and get down late on. And maybe something my opponent might look at. But it would be purely a denial if I picked it up. I wouldn't be playing it over the Woodstock. So yeah, I'm sort of umming and ahhing and certainly considering leaving it. As I say, I think this feels like a good time to go and take food. If I can get, you know, fish and get some worms on the reroll. And maybe I'm sort of baiting my opponent into going and drawing cards and actually giving me a free berry, which would make the difference here. We did get the nectars on the reroll, so if a free berry came through, we would be able to afford both the Stalk and the Roadrunner. And I think that would be our endgame sorted. I think we would just play those two and then just go and draw cards, run this Wetlands Engine and score some points with that. So yeah, we'll have to kind of wait and see on that. But yeah, we've got a bit of a backup because, you know, we can always play the Blue-winged Warbler instead. And that could be another nice option, but we do get that free berry come through. So yeah, at the cost of letting my opponent have Abbott's Booby, this does allow us to do what I think is our optimal end game, because I don't think really we are going to be competing on the end of round goal. Unfortunately, you know, we can get the Stalk in, but I certainly would imagine my opponent's going to do Abbott's Booby and then maybe even one or two more birds that are going to hit that. But decide to go with this Woodstock first of all. So just see the bonus card, you know, maybe that's going to change my decision. Maybe I get like Food Web Expert or something that the Warbler's going to work for, and I want to play that more. So we'll get that in and see what the bonus card's going to be. Hopefully we're going to get something good here that's going to help us in at the end of this game. So what is it going to be? It's going to be a Behaviorist for 3 points. So yeah, not the best, not exactly what I was hoping for, but I think you take 3 points from a late game bonus card. Always a gamble. You never really know what's going to come up. Could have been a dud. So we'll take it. Certainly not too bad. So as I say, we're looking like we're tying on this end of round goal at the moment. And we do have flexibility. I mean, we can always force down Blue-winged Warbler if we need to. I don't think the extra food is going to matter. And if that would, get a tie instead of losing, or help us win instead of tying, that would be the better play. It would make up for the missed points off Falconer. But yeah, I think what we're going to do here is just draw cards twice. I mean, now we've cleared out the space of the Blackbird, so we're looking good there. I don't think we're going to run out of space for the Cuckoo Eggs, but that could be something we have to consider, maybe playing one of these birds. Yeah, a turn sooner than otherwise, but yeah, I think really it's just going to be about doing the card drawing, and who knows, I mean, maybe like Eastern Imperial Eagle or Benelli's Eagle is going to come up, some kind of nice option like that, or something that maybe could work for Behaviorist as well. So yeah, just giving that information, as soon as possible. It's like with playing the Woodstock, give that bonus card information as soon as possible. And the same here, drawing cards just to see what's out there. I'm going to be seeing 6 cards here. Let's not forget that. So there's always a good chance when you're seeing that many cards that you are going to be able to find something good in there. But yeah, I think otherwise our end game should be pretty straightforward. I get the sense it's maybe not quite so straightforward for my opponent. I think, with the red start, that's got to take some careful management, and maybe some food for the Starling as well. But Wild Turkey goes down, so yeah, that kind of signals to me, okay, we're not going to be competitive on this end of round goal. So it's not going to matter too much what we draw, but we'll still go and see what we find. So yeah, Blackbird comes up. That would have been nice earlier. Same for the Carrion Crow. Nice synergy with the Falconer, but yeah, nothing too amazing comes up. But we do hit 100 points, so it's always nice when, you can do that with still a couple of turns left to go. So definitely feeling good, but definitely, concerned, because I'll say my opponent, they've seen a few bonus cards, and if we are going to see this Abbott's Booby come in as well, it's going to be seeing even more bonus cards, and maybe, turn in potentially any duds that are there into something good. But more egg laying, more eggs for the Swallow, and yeah, this is kind of making me think maybe now I need to play a bird. Maybe now I need to commit with the Roadrunner just to clear out the egg space. So we do go ahead and do that. I just don't want to miss. I don't want to draw cards, have my opponent lay eggs, and then for me to miss out on a point unnecessarily. So it's just a bit of risk management here. I'll say it's kind of becoming less and less likely that I'm going to find something that's a better option than a Roadrunner. So we commit with that. We play that. We know it's good points for us, and yeah, there goes Abbott's Booby. So I say not anything we could be doing on that end of round goal, but not a problem. We're going to go and just draw cards one final time. So Golden Eagle's been doing pretty good for us this game, got to be said. Definitely nice to see a lot of tucks there. But yeah, otherwise we're just getting a clean 5 points. So not really too shabby for a late game turn. And yeah, as I say, nice to be able to use this wetlands really nicely throughout the whole game. It's not been the best wetlands. You know, I'd have liked to mute Swan or something like that. But it's been solid and it's found me some good stuff. And yeah, just supported by that forest with the woodpecker and this cuckoo, which I think has just about got enough free eggs to justify playing it. So we'll definitely take that. Takes just, you know, 1 point off this engine, which doesn't have a load of brown powers in for my opponent. But yeah, they did well on the end of round goals. So they did well on the Nectars as well. So yeah, winning all 3 of those, it looked like. So that's always a tough one to be yeah, competing with those in those wetlands engines. So just got to take that on the chin and hope that you're scoring well enough in the other categories, primarily those tuck cards. So we're going to come into the final scores here. And yeah, I'm really not sure, you know, at the moment where this is going to go. We're looking pretty neck and neck when it comes to birds and bonus points. As I say, end of round goals, definitely nicer for my opponent. And eggs was pretty close in the end. So, you know, we're sort of holding our own here. And as I say, tucks, that was where all of our strategy focus was. So we do pull into the lead. Losing the Nectars, it's going to be close here, and it is very close. But 118 is the final score, enough to win for us, up against 112. So, yeah, definitely an interesting game. As I say, nice starting hand. Nice bonus card as well. Falconer coming through well. But Purple Martin Barn Swallow, assisted by other birds in the wetlands. Looking very good. So yeah, my opponent not quite such good bonus card luck, but there was the Beneda's Eagle that we were digging for. So I would have liked that very much. Luckily didn't need it in the end though. We had a nice approach, nice end game, and it was just about enough to squeeze out the win here in this game. So there we go. Hopefully you enjoyed watching that one back. As I say, definitely an interesting game. Some interesting decisions along the way. Glad to have got the win. So thank you very much for watching, and if you want to see more Wingspan gameplay videos, do make sure you've hit subscribe and you are following along. And I look forward to seeing you in another game very, very soon.